I just received 5 brand new LEGO World War II soldiers, and in this video we will take a closer look at them, compare them with older minifigures and the original uniform, and to finalize it we will build a cool mock for them. I've bought all of these from a shop called Minifigures UK, but I think all of these are already sold out. I just had to buy the bodies and helmets because I already have a lot of heads in my collection. Let's sort the bodies real quick and gear them up. I've ordered a fitting helmet for the MG gunner and already had the crusher cap for the officer. And here are the first 2 minifigures. Next I will compare these figures with older versions of the same brand. You can definitely see a lot of differences, but the most recognizable is that the older version using dark tan as base color and the newer version using reddish brown. But which version is more accurate? Here you can see some examples of the original uniform. You can definitely use both LEGO colors as base version, but in my opinion the reddish brown version looks and fits better. Another great and unique details are the sleeved arms of the MG gunner. It definitely makes sense when you build a mock which takes place in summer. Alright, we've talked enough about these 2 minifigures, so let's gear up all of them and get them ready for a battle. I've added the typical German gear like a Stahlhelm, MP40, MG42 and Karabiner 98. I've also prepared the custom-made Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251, also known as SD-Kfz 251. I've added a lot of gear to the vehicle like extra wheels, a shovel, wood and MGs. As you can see, minifigures also fit inside of the vehicle. If you like what you see, you can buy instructions for this vehicle at rebrickable.com for only €6. You can find the link in the description down below. Let's start building the mock. I wanted to create a circle and here's how I made it. First I had to create the skeleton by using plates and bricks. To hold everything in place I had to make sure that everything is connected. The construction you can see on the screen right now is for the corners. I've replicated this design 4 more times and added it to the skeleton. And as usual I've used my loved headlight bricks. I've also replicated this construction 7 more times because I've needed 8 of these. As you can see, this perfectly ends up with the modified plates. Next I've created the actual elements for the rounded shape. I've connected a lot of 1x2 plates to achieve the look of a circle. You will probably wonder about the randomly placed green plates, but you will see in a second why I've added these. I've created modules you just have seen for all 4 sides of the skeleton. So let's add them real quick. If I placed all the modified plates and bricks correct, the modules should fit perfectly. So let's add all of them real quick. As you can see, everything ends up perfectly and we successfully created a circle by using Lego pieces. And to prove that it is sturdy enough, let's move it real quick. Yep, we successfully created a circle. Next I had to fill all the inner gaps with filler bricks. They also support the structure and make it more sturdy. Once the main gaps were filled in, I just had to find some pieces to fill in the smaller ones. And now you can see why I've added the green plates. The inner bricks perfectly end up with the rounded construction. And you can see the satisfying moment in a closed up angle. I've replicated this step 1 more time and had to add plates to other bricks. Now the time finally has come where I can cover all the blue and white colored bricks. As usual I've used a mix of plates and tiles for the green area. I have to say that the used snot technique at the side definitely helps creating some smooth transitions between the green and dark tan part. Next I've designed a pine tree, but you're probably familiar with this design because I've used it several times before. I've just used 1x1 rounded plates instead of 1x1 rounded bricks for the root. The mix of these 2 types of green pieces just looks so natural in my opinion. And to give you a better idea how the final result will look like, let's add all the 3 pine trees real quick. Now it's time to prepare the place where the SD-Kfz 251 will be. The way I made this is pretty simple by using plates, some tiles and wedge plates. This should be enough, so let's add the vehicle. Now it's time to fill in all the smaller gaps by using the techniques you just have seen before. I've also added the dark bluish grey rock to create some contrasts. All the tiny pieces allowed me to create some super cool details. To make the rounded shape look even better, let's add some more green and dark tan pieces to the corners. I've just created these 2 engineers. One is holding a custom printed Tellamine by Camo bricks and the other one is holding a shovel. These 2 soldiers currently installing landmines into the pathway. To create the look of a small hole, I've used this reddish brown 2x2 plate. I've also added some smaller reddish brown pieces for the dirt effect. Now we can finally fill the rest of the gaps. I've also added some more reddish brown pieces to simulate some places where they already placed some mines. For the rest of the ground I've used the same techniques like using wedge plates, tiles and regular plates. The wedge plates perfectly work together with the tiles and plates because they also have the look of tiles and plates. You all know me for my extremely detailed mocks, so I just had to add some more finer details to the build. I've added leaf and grass pieces as well as rounded 2x2 and 1x1 plates. The 1x1 plates are supposed to simulate some smaller grass areas. Because I wanted to detail all the areas of the MOC, I had to turn it. I've replicated the same steps as before and the MOC is done pretty soon. And now I'm glad to present you the final build. But before we can see the final result of this build, we have to answer the question if these are the perfect minifigures for a LEGO WW2 summer build. And I have to say that the answer is yes. The design and variations of all these minifigures is just great. And I always wanted some minifigures with sleeved arms, so I'm glad I finally got some. That's it, so don't forget to like and subscribe and feel free to watch other of my videos if you like this one. Thanks for watching and see you next time.